I've got some changes. I've made some changes earlier today. Got some big danger signs. And I've tried to simplify the way that this works. Apparently, this torpedo doesn't work either, which is not good. But as long as I have a torpedo that's got a track on the bottom and a hard point on the top, and is within 21 blocks of length, it will all still work. So changes. We have this little panel here, so I can load a torpedo, launch torpedo, and open exterior hatch. I might make some of these a bit more manual. And then over here, I still haven't moved this, but now we can open the hatch. We've got some nice flashing lights. I thought I'd make them red so that they're not as easy to see if you're actually in some kind of multiplayer situation doing this. Yeah, and so torpedo goes up, or the lift comes up, and you can put a torpedo on the gripper, and then it comes back down. You just go lower the lift, close the door, and the lights will all turn off. And at the moment, you still need to manually push this through. This thing comes along, go over to track 7 and release it. And now I've changed it from the door because the door was hitting this hard point every time it opened if you didn't move it away, and I thought that's just annoying. So now we press load torpedo, the hatch opens, and then this little arm slides along a track and pushes the torpedo all the way in, closes the door. Then, I'm still working on this, but you should be able to just go open exterior hatch. So here's the torpedo, and then press launch. And you can hear the propeller going over there. So yeah, definitely still got some things to tweak on it, but generally the system works. I had thought maybe it would be nice if you could automatically determine that this is still inside, and then these fluid ports were connected to pumps, and they were going to pump the air out of the torpedo tube and back into this room. And then the hatch would just open and let all the water rush in and fill the vacuum, and then you would be able to fire, but I'm not so sure I need that at all. This room in here changed a little bit, so on this side you can see how the stairs come down and it's all just like flat, and then back where I've put the new bit, it's a lot more enclosed because the track is running through the floor quite a bit higher than it was before. If I were to move all the torpedo stuff down by 2 blocks, then it would fit, but I'm quite happy with it how it is, so I think I'm just going to make allowances and build around this. And so yeah, today I want to try and get whatever's going in this room, which I think on this side I was going to do like a galley kitchen space, so I think I'll try that. Now within here I did want to mount some guns, but they might have to be somewhere else. Oh, they could be right at the back actually. I could just chuck a wall straight through here. Have a gun that pops out on the corner maybe. It's likely that I'll have a gun on the front though, one on each side, so I think it'll just be that like this wall cuts off a bit shorter, and then in the front there'll be another turret. I think I'll be able to chuck a wall in here, so let's go with this general shape for now and try and put some seating and a little kitchenette thing. Actually, what if a door goes here? Because then I can easily get rid of these wedges and maintain the physics shape. This can be like a storeroom, pantry, cupboard thing. Then I can come along here and I can sort of give myself space along here for a bench. And then we can put seating down here. That all seems pretty easy. So we only need like 8 seats on here. Let's use a HUD. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's actually pretty easy. VS code. What am I looking for? A 5x9 HUD. And it needs to be 5 in one direction, 9 in another direction. Look at that. First try. So that block on top there is the only block that is connecting the HUD to anything right now. And I guess we will need a whole bunch of invisible blocks in there. Is that too high, or is that... That's too high, isn't it? No one would have a table that high. That's better. I'll come do invisible blocks later so I don't get real distracted with it. Oh, so all of this is actually, like, I can paint this. So I can definitely put in, like, a fridge. Oh, wait a minute. Not the bottom, though. The bottom is tracks. Just okay. We can just say that the bottom is... The bottom can be, like, the waterproof layer or whatever. That's a fridge. Good enough. It's a very big fridge, actually. Could do with a smaller one, perhaps. Do you think there's like a part that can be XML to look like a sink? Because you can kind of do the speaker to look like a hood thing. Thought this time I would do some like electric hob things and actually turn them on with a panel. Well, that's the general idea for in here, and I'll come back and spruce it up a bit later, I think. Don't want to get too caught up on this. One thing that's been mentioned is that this gun isn't so nice that it's sticking out on the back. So I'm thinking there must be a way for me to take this and have it drop down and then pop up and still have all the functionality I built. So instead of it being like real open, actually let's make it pink. So this is a turret ring wide. I don't think it needs to be too much wider than the turret ring, like at all. The only thing I really need is that there are pivots in the middle. Like pivots don't even need to be on the outside, they could be on the inside. And then the gun parts could be even further out. So I guess I'm trying to make this whole bit here duck down into the hull. So I think I'll get rid of this, the old gun. And what's gonna have to happen now is we're gonna need like more of the hull exposed. Turret ring. Why am I using a turret ring? A turret ring is very bulky. I need these pivots, but I don't know if I really need a turret ring. Like I can get away with a velocity pivot. And then I can make this whole thing move up and down. This bit moves. This bit does not move. I need to spin these around. So the pivot can go up and down. And then the turret, or the actual weapon can pivot and spin on the bit that goes up and down. And it would only need to go up and down a tiny little bit. So that's the top of the ship. Oh, I need to probably... Do I need to come out all the way over the barrels? Let's bring this bit back a little bit. Use 1x4s instead. Makes it maybe look a bit more aggressive. It would look very much more aggressive if I had like a 1x8. I think that would look heaps cooler, but we don't. So this is what we're getting. That's still kind of good, right? Trying to give it a little bit of detail on the sides because it's going to be flush along the top with the rest of the body. I need that junction. I only need one junction. The other bit will be straight. And then from the junction it will go into the corner, which will then go into one of these corners. And then this corner, so I'm still pivoting from here. But now I can use all of inside this space. Can I get it? Oh, if I can turn it down one side. Like if I can take this piece. Is that the right piece or do I need the other one? Oh no. I could have gone back the other way. Right, let's not get too worried about that. So we've got to think of like how much tilt can I get? I shouldn't be tilting down at all though, so hopefully that's okay. Right, we should be, there will be some tilt down, so I guess I should probably bring all of this forwards. That should be enough to avoid hitting the pivot too much. This is gonna look real weird when it comes out. And then I think this pivot needs to change a bit. It'd be good if there was like arms or something that actually made it look like it was connected. So I should probably be using a hinge rather than pivots. So how far up do I need to move this? How high should it go? 1, 2, 3. So it'll start out and then it will retract down. 1, 2, 3, 4. So then it's a 5 high system. Hopefully using these tracks on both sides will stop it from wobbling in any direction. And then I'll use hard points as well to fully lock it. I should probably have 2 hinges actually. That would mean I don't need any tracks. It'll make reloading an absolute nightmare. And then if I put some hard points in here, so I know I can grab it when it's down. So it's going to fold backwards and then forwards. That's not going to work for reloading though. Not reloading from here anyway. It'll have to reload at the back. Grr. I'm just going to have to trial and error this because I can't be bothered. A and D can do those two, and that's all I need to know right now. Let's make it W and S. It's probably going to like fold in 2 different directions and go all weird. So I need to flip around one of them. One of the hinges needs to go the other way. And go whee. Okay, perfect. So this just needs to come back by back by 6 and down by 5. Back 6, down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, that does not give it much height when it's fully extended. It might have to go fully straight up just to get out of its hole. Oh, but what is that? Oh, it's a little bit higher than the engine room roof. And it might clip on some of this as it's coming back down, so we might need to just a little rampy ramp. I might have gone down too far. I'm not actually sure this is right. Yeah, it's too far down. 1 down too many. 1 down too many. So we go up. Oh yeah, so the thing about the gun, I think, was just the delay. The capacitor I had set, or I don't even know if I had one. It wasn't holding the breech open for long enough. That's pretty good. Did I have a microcontroller set up? I did, this one down here. I also was working on this thing, which I guess it's not connected. Oh yeah, it's connected, it's just like not good connected. Whoa! So this is like where the main gunner will sit. This isn't very stable though. I don't know how I would make it stable and still retain all the functionality. Because it's the black bit at the bottom is one subgrid, then the bit in the middle is another subgrid, and then the gun on the top is another subgrid. Which means it will have to come all the way back to 0 and then fold back down to reset. That's the only real downside I'm seeing with using a more hidden gun. I also want to make a light, or is it an auto cannon? Is the light auto cannon and the heavy auto cannons, oh, they're quite different. Which one do I use? Because it's probably going to have to be the light auto cannon. Let's build a light auto cannon. And this is going to pop out through the sides somewhere up the front. Do I need a feeder if I'm feeding from a belt, or will it just, does it just go? Light autocannon, kinetic. This is a light autocannon. Trigger and loaded. Oh no. At least there's no like open breach. Perfect. Job done. We can all go home. I've not forgotten about the big cannon. I'm just thinking about it. Let's have a look at the space I've actually got, because this is the room, and I might even have to go further forwards. I should be able to get 8 beds into this space on the other side though, so maybe it can just begin here. How big do you think this has to be? Here's my door, right? I don't think I can do the door all the way up to the edge without it being a real unhappy chappy. Oh man, if that worked, that would be really cool. I need like a really narrow gun. Oh, it might work, except I won't be able to pivot it or tilt it or anything. I mean, that's pretty compact, but I don't know if it's gonna fit. It would fit if I made the door rotate from a different angle, not from the middle. You know what I'm saying? It'd be like this. It's so close. So this gun is actually 4 blocks wide. If we go back to here and do a 6 wide hole, then that means I can do pivots on both sides which are even and leave 4 blocks for the gun to come out of. Oh, I can make it go up really high. Oh, wow. Wow. And yes, I'll use a gripper, maybe a hard point. Hard point's probably a good idea. Hard point would be a very good idea. Then I wouldn't need a... Well, I like the gripper because it locks everything. The gripper does not allow things to get off track, like quite literally. So that's my up and down. Then if I do a hard point somewhere, oh, this track needs to go way up, so up. Oh, perfect. Then if I do a hard point facing that way, I like to do hard points the other way, I think. So when it's fully up, it'll be 1 block above the max height, which is the height of the camera. So it should be up there. This logic's pretty simple for this gun, I think. How tight do you think it's going to be? Oh, come on. Oh. Woo! Whoa, that's too fast. And it's backwards. Now, the kind of door I think would work well for this probably needs to be a sliding door. I could just attach the door to the top of it, actually. How lazy should I be? It doesn't even need to be this kind of custom door, but it means that I could seal it in. Ooh, what's that? Whoop! Weird, I screwed up. I didn't change the seat sensitivities. That looks pretty cool there. I mean, tilting I would say is fine. Seems a little unresponsive. it can rotate without really bonking anything. Yeah, something about the up-down counter for up and down is a bit screwy. It'll be because it's probably just counting too slowly. It's kind of acting like it's still on sticky. 100% reset. When it is detecting any input, 0.1. But it feels like it's holding on to the input though. Rather than, it's not that it's taking a long time, it's that it's holding on. I think the door might have to get a little bit bigger so that there's not so much jank. WS, 100% reset, please. 0.001. Oh, why is the speed so low? What happened there? Was that even ever a thing? What? What's going on? Hey, whoa. One option would be to just bring the whole thing up even higher. Let it lift itself up one more higher so that it can clear the door completely. Which, I don't think that's possible. I think it could just be that this middle pivot is real weak. Oh dear. The reason it's wiggling is because this thing here that I changed, this up-down counter went from like 0.002 to 0.2. It's a really big change in the tolerance that it needs to meet. I could try making it slower. I could change these two values here and then change the epsilon so that it's happier with like less precision, because the hard points should lock it into place anyway. Shouldn't have to be too worried about anything. Oh, but that's the tolerance. It's like way off. Well, that's not bad. Well, if you're turned all the way around, this is the turning speed, and it is so slow that it's connected itself back onto the top. Well, I mean, that's the general idea. That works a lot better than this kind of thing with the half split thing. I'll get that copied over later. I'm not sure about this battle cannon, main battle cannon on the back though. It might even make sense to go into a much narrower shape, and actually doing the same kind of door system might work a lot better, where it can just go up and down and then pivot at the top with the door attached to the top. Very goofy, very goofy. What I could do is just get rid of all that, put the feeder on the back, and just have a very small amount of ammo. So yeah, we're only getting like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds before it really needs to go back and reload. But that's a whole lot more streamlined. And because it's so big, I think you don't want to have like too much weight on this middle section, because that has its own subgrid now. So when it's pointing up, it's going to come down at least 3 blocks, I would think. And this thing is connected to a pivot at the bottom, which can be the big velocity pivot, and then you'll be able to track where its rotation is at. This looks a lot more like a railgun. That's so dumb. Give me that normal one. Okay, that gives me a lot more weight that I can add to the, I might use a pipe here, to this middle section, so it's not as flimsy. And then this piece just needs to go up and down, which should be pretty straightforward. I think a little lump in the back could be kind of interesting to see. Or should it be completely flush? Completely flush would also be pretty interesting. This base piece probably needs to come all the way up. Oh, if it went up Oh no, that's alright. That's alright. If I put in a hard point, we need to be like vertical for this hard point anyway. So that's now going to lock when the back comes down. I don't mind leaving some of it open for you to see in, but I had thought it would be kind of cool if some of it folded back over itself. Oh, look at that. What gun? I don't see any guns. Oh, what happened? Oh, the pipes. Oh, like all of this actually. This may require some more work. What? Is that as high as it went? Oh, that's as high as it goes. Okay. That's pretty good though. Whee! It's hitting something. The barrels are hitting. If I can get it to lift up one more so that the bottom isn't like within the frame, then all the clearance should be okay. Yeah, otherwise all the like normal stuff. Yeah, got some guns done. Made a galley. Next time I think I'll try and get the sleeping arrangement done. I'll try and get the guns finished before then as well. They just need little tweaks to make them all fit. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.